Luna's Magic Garden. Luna pressed her nose against the window, watching raindrops race down like silver tears. She had been at Grandma Rose's house for 3 days, and the rain hadn't stopped once. "I'm so bored," Luna whispered. She was 7 years old, with curly hair the color of autumn leaves and eyes that sparkled when excited. But right now, those eyes looked as gray as the stormy sky. Then something caught her eye that made her heart skip. In the backyard, behind the old oak tree, was a tiny blue door she had never seen before. It glowed with golden hinges that gleamed even in the gray light. "That's impossible," Luna breathed. "I've looked at that tree 100 times." Blizzard, but there it was, as real as the rain and twice as mysterious. Luna grabbed her yellow raincoat and red boots, quietly slipping outside while Grandma Rose napped. The rain was cold on her face as she ran across the muddy yard. Her boots splashed through puddles, sending water flying. The closer she got, the more real the little door became. Luna knelt in the wet grass, not caring about mud on her knees. The door was beautiful up close, with carved flowers that seemed to shimmer and move when she wasn't looking directly at them. "Hello, little door," Luna whispered. "Where do you lead?" As if answering her question, the door began to glow with soft, warm light. Luna gasped. The golden hinges sparkled, and she heard the faintest sound of music from behind the door. With trembling fingers, Luna reached for the tiny brass doorknob. It was warm, like sunshine, instead of cold rain. She turned it slowly, and the door opened with the softest whisper. Beyond the door was a glowing tunnel just big enough to crawl through. The air inside smelled like flowers and fresh bread and something magical. Luna crawled through the tunnel, following its gentle curve deeper into mystery. The walls glowed softly, covered in the same carved flowers as the door. Finally, she saw light ahead and emerged into an enormous garden. But something was terribly wrong. All the flowers were gray and wilted, hanging their heads like they were crying. The trees had no leaves, their branches reaching toward the sky like skeleton fingers. The grass was brown and crunchy. "What happened here?" Luna whispered, walking along white stone paths between empty flower beds. In the center was a fountain, but no water flowed from it. She heard a tiny crying sound and followed it to a single gray flower in a small bed. Its petals hung down sadly, and its stem was bent like it was too tired to stand. Luna knelt beside the flower, feeling tears in her eyes. "Oh, you poor little thing." Without thinking, she reached out and gently touched one drooping petal. The moment her finger made contact, something amazing happened. Her mouth, golden light flowed from Luna's hand into the flower. The gray color melted away like ice in sunshine, replaced by the most beautiful purple she had ever seen. The petals straightened and opened wide, revealing a sparkling center. The stem grew strong and tall. "Thank you," the flower said in a voice like silver bells. "You have magic in your heart. I'm Violet." Luna fell backward in shock. You can talk? Of course I can talk. Violet laughed like wind chimes. All flowers can, if you know how to listen. You have the gift of listening, little one. A white rabbit with starlight fur hopped over. I'm Sparkle, guardian of this garden. We've been waiting for you, Luna. You're a heart mage. What's a heart mage? Luna asked. Someone who heals with love, Violet explained. This garden was cursed by a shadow. Only a heart mage can save us. You think I can help? Luna asked, but I'm just 7 years old. Age is just a number, Violet said wisely. What matters is the size of your heart, and yours is very large. Will you help us restore the garden? Sparkle asked hopefully. Luna looked around the sad, gray garden, then back at her new friends. She felt scared and excited and confused, but most of all, she felt a warm feeling in her chest. Yes, Luna said, her voice stronger than it had been all day. I'll help you save the garden. Luna ran back to tell Grandma Rose everything. Her grandmother smiled knowingly. I've been waiting for this day, Grandma Rose said. I was the garden's guardian before you. Now it's your turn. She showed Luna a room full of magical books and crystals. Heart magic comes from love and kindness. The more you care about others, the stronger your magic becomes. Luna learned that the shadow was an ancient evil that fed on magic and joy. It had attacked the garden years ago, leaving everything gray and lifeless. Will it come back? Luna asked. Yes, Grandma Rose said sadly, but together we can be ready. They spent the afternoon studying the Heart Mage's Guide. Luna learned about magical plants, sensing emotions, and channeling magic without exhausting herself. Magic responds to what's in your heart, Grandma Rose explained. If you approach it with love and the genuine desire to help, your magic will be strong and pure. The most important lesson was about intention. Magic wasn't about power or showing off. It was about helping others and creating something beautiful. The shadow feeds on loneliness and fear, Grandma Rose warned. But love and friendship make us stronger than any darkness. Luna felt both excited and nervous. She had so much to learn, but she was determined to help her new friends in the garden. Every day, Luna returned to the garden. She touched more plants and brought them back to life. Each one had its own personality and special gifts. She met Reed, a wise water plant, who guarded the pond. His voice was like gentle rain, and he knew stories about the garden that went back hundreds of years. The cattail chorus sang beautiful songs that could heal both physical wounds and broken hearts. When they sang together, their voices created harmonies that made everyone feel peaceful and loved. There were giggling mushrooms who told wonderful jokes and could make anyone laugh, even when they were feeling sad. When they giggled, their caps sparkled with silver spots like stars. A wise old willow tree named Sage shared ancient stories. His voice was deep and gentle, like distant thunder on a summer night. He knew the history of every creature in the garden. Singing roses created melodies that filled the air with joy and could strengthen courage in times of trouble. Their songs were different from the cattail chorus, more energetic and inspiring. Luna also awakened magical creatures. Crystal butterflies with rainbow wings danced through the air, their wings catching sunlight and scattering it into thousands of tiny sparkles. Moonlight mice ran so fast they looked like silver streaks. They could carry messages across great distances and always knew the quickest path to anywhere in the garden. "You're bringing our world back to life," Sparkle said happily one afternoon as they sat by Reed's pond. But Luna felt tired after using so much magic. The warm feeling in her chest was still there, but dimmer, like a candle that had been burning for a long time. "I am a little tired," Luna admitted. "That's completely normal," Reed said kindly. "Magic takes energy, especially when you're just learning. You should rest and let your strength recharge." "Rest is important too," Violet reminded her. "You can't help others if you don't take care of yourself." Luna learned to pace herself, taking breaks between awakenings and listening to her body when it needed rest. Gradually, she grew stronger and more confident. By the end of the week, nearly a quarter of the garden was alive again. The paths that had once been lined with gray, lifeless plants now bloomed with color and magic. One morning, Luna found Sparkle waiting at the tunnel entrance. But something was wrong. His usually bright blue eyes were dim with worry, and his ears were pressed flat against his head. "What's wrong?" Luna asked, kneeling to stroke his soft fur. "Something's coming," Sparkle whispered. "Something dark and hungry. I can feel it getting closer." Luna's heart skipped a beat. "The shadow?" "I think so," Sparkle nodded gravely. "All the awakened creatures can feel it. It's still far away, but it's definitely heading here." The sky began to darken, even though it was still morning. The air grew cold and still, and an unnatural silence fell over the garden. Even the birds stopped singing. "Everyone stay calm," Grandma Rose said, appearing with her glowing staff. "Remember, we're stronger together than apart." The darkness at the garden's edge began to move, flowing between trees like thick, black water. As it got closer, Luna could see it wasn't really a shadow. It was more like a hole in the world where light and joy went to die. "So," the shadow said, its voice like hope being crushed, "the little garden has found itself a new guardian. How interesting." Luna stepped forward, her legs shaking, but her voice steady. "You're not welcome here. This is a place of love and beauty." The shadow laughed, and the sound made all the flowers shiver. "Child, I am the darkness that devours light, the silence that swallows song, the emptiness that consumes love. What can one little girl do against me?" "She's not just a little girl," Sparkle said bravely, hopping beside Luna. "She's a heart mage, and she has friends." "Friends," the shadow mocked. "How touching. Let me show you what I think of friendship." The shadow surged forward, and wherever it touched, newly awakened plants began to wither and turn gray. The giggling mushrooms stopped giggling, their silver spots fading to dull brown. No! Luna shouted, running toward the shadow without thinking. Luna, wait! Grandma Rose called, but it was too late. Luna threw herself between the shadow and her friends, spreading her arms wide. The shadow's icy touch hit her like freezing water, and she felt her magic being drained away. Foolish child, the shadow hissed. Did you really think you could stop me? Luna felt herself growing weaker as the shadow fed on her magic. Her vision began to blur, and she could hear her friends calling her name from far away. But just as she was about to collapse, she felt something warm touch her hand. It was Sparkle, pressing his small body against her palm. Then Violet was there too, her petals brushing Luna's arm. One by one, all the creatures came to her side, offering their own magic. "We're with you, Luna," Reed called from his pond. "We believe in you," the cattail chorus sang. "We love you," the giggling mushrooms whispered. Suddenly, Luna wasn't alone anymore. She could feel the love and friendship of every creature flowing through her, filling her with warmth and light and power beyond anything she had ever imagined. "This is impossible," the shadow roared, recoiling from the growing light around Luna. "No," Luna said, her voice clear and strong. "This is love, and love is the most powerful magic of all." The light around Luna grew brighter and brighter, fed by the combined magic of all her friends. The shadow writhed and twisted, trying to escape, but the light followed it, driving it back toward the garden's edges. "This isn't over," the shadow hissed as it retreated. "I'll be back." "Maybe," Luna said, still glowing with magical light, "but we'll be ready for you." The shadow let out one final shriek of rage and disappeared into the darkness beyond the garden's borders. The moment it was gone, Luna collapsed to her knees, exhausted but victorious. "We did it," she whispered, looking around at all her friends. "We really did it." "We all did it together," Luna said firmly. "That's what made us strong enough." In the days following the shadow's attack, something wonderful happened. More creatures throughout the garden began to awaken, as if the battle had sent out a call that it was safe to return to life. Families of star foxes emerged from their hiding places, their fur glowing like constellations in the night. Wind dancers who could control the weather returned from the deep forest. Even a small dragon named Ember joined them, her scales changing color with her emotions. "I thought I wasn't special," Ember said shyly when she first met Luna. "I can only make pretty lights and help plants grow faster." "That's very special," Luna assured her warmly. "Every gift matters, and yours brings beauty and life to our world." The garden became a true community. Everyone worked together, sharing their unique abilities to make their home more wonderful. The star foxes became night guardians, their constellation-covered fur providing gentle light after dark. Wind dancers brought perfect weather for the plants. Ember helped the gardens bloom more beautifully than ever before. Luna learned that being a guardian wasn't just about having magical powers. It was about bringing different creatures together and helping them work as a team. She made sure everyone felt valued and included. One morning, as Luna was working in the garden with her friends, something amazing appeared in the center fountain. Where the water shot highest into the air, a new plant was growing, a flower unlike anything any of them had ever seen. The stem was silver and seemed to be made of crystallized starlight. The leaves were every color of the rainbow, shifting and changing as they moved in the breeze. And, at the very top, a flower bud was beginning to open, revealing petals that looked like they were made of pure magic. "What is it?" Luna breathed, staring at the impossible plant in wonder. "That is a heart flower," Grandma Rose said, appearing beside them with tears of joy in her eyes. "I've only read about them in the oldest books. They're said to grow only in places where a true heart mage has created perfect harmony among all living things." "Perfect harmony?" Luna asked, feeling overwhelmed. "But I haven't done anything perfect. I've made lots of mistakes." "Perfect doesn't mean never making mistakes," Grandma Rose explained gently. "It means creating something so beautiful and balanced that it becomes greater than the sum of its parts. Look around you, Luna." Luna did look around, and for the first time, she truly saw what the garden had become. It wasn't just a collection of magical creatures living in the same place. It was a true community where everyone worked together, where differences were celebrated, where love and friendship created something more powerful than any individual magic. As if responding to her realization, the heart flower's bud opened completely, revealing a bloom more beautiful than Luna could have imagined. The petals seemed to contain entire galaxies, swirling with stars and cosmic wonders. The center glowed with warm golden light that made everyone who saw it feel loved and completely at peace. "It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen," Luna whispered. "It's a reflection of your heart," Violet said softly. "Heart flowers show the true nature of the mage who caused them to bloom, and yours, dear Luna, is the most beautiful heart any of us have ever seen." The gathered creatures cheered, and Luna felt herself blushing with happiness and pride. But more than that, she felt a deep sense of completeness, as if a puzzle she hadn't even known she was solving had finally come together. The heart flower bloomed with light that made everyone feel peaceful and happy. The garden was more beautiful than it had ever been, filled with the laughter of friends and the music of growing things. "What if the shadow comes back?" Luna asked one evening as she sat with her friends around the glowing flower. "Then we'll face it together," Sparkle said confidently. "All of us, as a family." "The shadow feeds on loneliness and fear," Sage the willow tree added wisely. "But this garden is full of love and friendship that makes us stronger than any darkness." Luna smiled, looking around at all the creatures who had become her family. She was no longer just a bored little girl who had stumbled into magic. She was a true heart mage who understood that the greatest magic wasn't about power or spells or flashy displays of ability. The greatest magic was about bringing others together, about creating something beautiful and lasting, about building a world where everyone belonged and felt loved. The magic garden was her home, and she was exactly where she belonged. As the stars appeared overhead and the heart flower's glow combined with the light from the star fox's fur to illuminate the garden in gentle radiance, Luna made a promise to herself and to all her friends. She would protect this place, this community, this family she had found. She would help it grow and flourish, becoming more wonderful with each passing day, and she would never forget the lesson the garden had taught her, that love, shared among friends, was the most powerful magic in any world. The rain that had started her adventure seemed like a lifetime ago. Now, as she looked up at the clear, star-filled sky, Luna knew that she had found something far more valuable than just an escape from boredom. She had found her purpose, her family, and her home,